Welcome back, iCyber golfers. Got a cool one set up for you today. So what you see here is my SkyTrak launch monitor set up here on my mat with the SkyTrak software loaded up from my gaming PC on the monitor. If we kind of navigate this way a little further, you're going to notice that we have my iPhone here. And this is actually running the Rapsodo software on it. And then I have my Rapsodo MLM2Pro positioned behind me. So we're going to do a comparative video here today. Basically, one launch monitor. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. One golfer, two launch monitors, two driving ranges at the same time. And the goal is to try to catch that telemetry and that information for you all so that you can see the comparison between the two devices. So just plugging my power source back into my phone. And let's get this started. So we are recording. Let's get back over here and let's get a session loaded up. So I'm going to put my glove on and we are going to hit our pitching wedge. So let's go ahead and select. I'm going to click pitching wedge from the Rapsodo software. I'm going to select pitching wedge. So we're basically there. I'm going to double check and make sure that pitching wedge is selected here, which it is. It is now. And now we're all set to hit a shot. So I am capturing both images at the same time. And I'm really curious to see how this is going to work myself. So we are going to be using the Rapsodo RPT balls because those have the tracking dots that are going to deliver our spin access and all that kind of information. I do have my red dot from my SkyTrak lined up identically with the Rapsodo hitting box that does deliver ball data and club data. So everything in terms of alignment is all squared. So let's get this demonstration underway. Have not hit a single shot today. Looking to hit my first shot of the day. Pitching wedge. As always, looking for that 100-yard distance. So let's get started here. One golfer, two launch monitors, two driving ranges at the same time. Let's go. SkyTrak MLM2Pro, first shot of the day. Looking for 100 yards on both devices. That's a great swing. Both are reading the data. Both are showing draw. And in terms of distance, my Rapsodo says that I went 109 yards carry. My SkyTrak says I went 110 yards carry. The total distance is 112 on the Rapsodo. The total distance is 111 on the SkyTrak. So in terms of carry and distance with the pitching wedge, they look identical. There's some spin numbers here as well that we can actually look at. We'll look at those later. I'm just going to focus mainly on the carry distance, the total distance, and the shot shape. Both of those were draws. And let's go. Let's hit the second shot. Where you have a pitching wedge, second shot. Another great shot with draw shape. Pull that more across my body than draw shape. Both are tracking the same exact way. So Rapsodo says that that went 109 yards carry, total distance 113. The SkyTrak said that went 113 total distance, 112 yard carry, 112 yard total. So again, that total, just kind of leave that in the back of your mind. That's not as important. We are more focused on the carry distance here. So 112 SkyTrak, 109 Rapsodo. Let's hit another one and let's see where this ends up. Again, using the RPT balls to ensure we have the best tracking available for both devices. That one looks like I came across it. I did. So the Rapsodo shows some fade going back to the center line. The SkyTrak shows some fade going back to the center line. The total carry for SkyTrak is showing 110. The total carry for the Rapsodo is showing 105. So there's about a 5-yard discrepancy there, which again, in terms of lining them up apples to apple, they're both pretty accurate. So at least with one another. And I have been playing, and I do trust the numbers from the SkyTrak. I do also trust the numbers from the Rapsodo, even though there's a little bit of discrepancy. The shot shape is right. Everything looks good. So let's try this shot again. We'll do 3 more with the 9-iron, with the pitching wedge, and then we'll move up to the 9-iron. Hit that one thin, and it indicates a thin shot on both. Indicates the exact same shot shape. So that was perfect. I mean, those things look synchronized. They looked identical to each other. This one shows 123-yard carry, which is, I'm pointing to the Rapsodo. Rapsodo shows 123-yard carry. The SkyTrak shows 127-yard carry. A lot more rollout, 139, whereas the Rapsodo shows a total of 133. Not too interested in, again, the total. I'm just looking at the carry. So let's hit another one here. Let me take that off of the, so it doesn't bounce back in my face. Hit another one. And my numbers on the SkyTrak are they're not good in terms of optimization because I caught that one thin. See if I can make pure contact with this. That's a great pitching wedge. Okay, so there's a little bit of discrepancy here with the shot. The Rapsodo shows it going straight, and the SkyTrak shows it going across my body. The swing indicator shows that as well. So if you look at the swing path club data from the SkyTrak, it's showing that I hit across the ball. The distance, carry distance on the SkyTrak Plus is 113. Carry distance on the Rapsodo for that shot was 109. So a little bit of discrepancy there. All right, last shot with the pitching wedge, and then we'll move on to the 9-iron. That's a great pitching wedge. Shot shape looks identical on both. Basically right on center line for both. Grab this ball. I'm going to need it here in a minute because we only have these 3 to test with to keep our numbers accurate across both platforms. Sorry, didn't mean to to drop it on you guys. All right, here we go. So data looks good. 115 carry on the Rapsodo, 111 carry on the SkyTrak Plus. So overall, happy with the data, happy with the shot shape. They look very comparable. So I'm going to go ahead and change clubs here on the Rapsodo. I'm going to click this little button in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to scroll, and then I'm going to choose 9-iron. I'm going to go to the SkyTrak software, click this button, and select 9-iron. Okay, so we expect our 9-iron to go 130 yards if we're hitting it pure and clean. Let's see what the numbers indicate here. All right, let's go 9-iron. It's a great 9-iron on a great line. Did come across my body. It is doing draw shape. I would expect that. Both are draw. So the Rapsodo shows that as a draw shape. SkyTrak shows that as a draw shape. Total carry 129. Total carry. When I say 129, I mean total carry on the SkyTrak is 129. Total carry on the Rapsodo is 131. So again, just about 2 yards difference on that shot, 9-iron. But we reached our 130 number on both, essentially both platforms. So I trust this data. All right, let's go again. 9-iron. Got that a little thin. It did go across my body. I pulled it. Both SkyTrak and Rapsodo are showing draw across my body. SkyTrak is showing me a carry of 126. Rapsodo is showing me a carry of 124. So about 3 yards difference. Optimal numbers there with my SkyTrak. So you see all green numbers for launch angle, backspin, and descent angle. So everything looks good there. Let's take one last shot with the 9-iron, and then we'll just take it to an 8-iron. And I'm actually then going to take it over to a 6-iron. So we can see a lengthier club and how that looks. All right, let's go. Last shot with the 9-iron. It's a great shot with the draw. pulled it across my body. Both lines are flying identically. So this SkyTrak Plus is showing 128 yards carry. The Rapsodo is showing 127 yards carry. So very, very comparable. The shot shape looks identical. It's to the left of the center line. Everything looks good there. My club path in the SkyTrak indicates exactly what I did. So my face was more closed at contact. Therefore, it pulled across my body and created that ball flight that went to the left. So that all looks really, really good. So not gonna mess with anything else there. Let's go ahead and jump to a higher club here in terms of distance. So we're gonna go all the way to a 6-iron from here, just so we can get some good distance. And then I might finish it out with a with one of the woods, probably the 3-wood. So let's click on the SkyTrak. We're gonna change this to a 6-iron. We're all set. We're gonna go to the Rapsodo software, click the upper right-hand corner, scroll up until we see 6-iron. Select that. So now our 6-iron is selected. Our SkyTrak is ready. Our Rapsodo is ready. And let's just go. What I'm going to do after this video, I'm going to close this one out and put this in the CyberU video playlist just to compare the driving ranges. But I'm going to try to load up a course, the same course, on both platforms. So I'm going to look for one. I think I might play the Murfield course. I think it's based out of Ohio. So I'm going to pull that one up on the SkyTrak software. I'm going to pull that up in the Rapsodo software. Going to set them up on the same tee boxes. Probably just play from the reds because those should be comparable in terms of yardages. And then we'll play 1 or 2 holes side by side and see how that compares. If the ball flights are indicating pretty identical to both, I would imagine that our course play is going to be reflective of the same type of setup. So let's go. 6-iron, 3. Let's hit 3 6-irons. And let's see what the distance looks like here. Try to do the draw shape. This 6-iron, we're looking to go 165 to 170. If we catch it pure, we can get it out there to 180 even. It's a solid 6-iron. Did come across it. I see similar ball flight from both. So basically the SkyTrak shows me a carry of 173. Okay, so here's a difference. The Rapsodo shows a carry distance of 160 yards. So that's quite a bit. That's about 13 yards difference between the two. The ball flight looks pretty much the same, so I trust that. The distance, I'm gonna keep an eye on that when we go to the higher clubs. The higher speed clubs. So when we get to the 3-wood, we're really gonna see some discrepancy there, I imagine. More importantly, on the SkyTrak, you see I'm in the optimal zone. I hit that one pure. I did come across it, so it did create fade. But all my numbers are in green, and I trust that SkyTrak to be showing me that distance. That felt like a 178, 180 yard shot. Hit another one, second one with the 6-iron. Same shot shape, that's what we're targeting. That's going to have also some fade to it. Started it off to the left-hand side of the line with the SkyTrak. The ball flights are identical here. I'm literally landing just on the right side of the dispersion line. Let's see, numbers wise. Yeah, so my numbers are very off here with the Rapsodo. That one showed a carry of 158 yards on the Rapsodo. It shows 167 yards. That's not too bad. I guess it's almost like 10 yards, but still, that's a discrepancy of about 10 yards difference. So what can we blame that on? There's a couple of things here. Both of these devices use Doppler to measure different parts of the swing. So the SkyTrak is shooting a Doppler signal this way to pick up my club path. It's also using photometric to capture the ball, leaving the little area that it calculates in. The Rapsodo is shooting Doppler towards the net. It's also using high-speed cameras to catch my club at impact, and it's also taking a recording of my swing. So we do have some technology that could potentially be interfering with each other, but more importantly, the shot shape is right. The distance is just slightly off. So I imagine alone, they probably are pretty accurate, by themselves. Last one with the 6-iron, then we'll move to a 3-wood. That's a solid 6 on a rope. Did come across it. I do see similar, slightly similar. I'll rephrase that because the Rapsodo showed me dead center. I know that I came across that ball because I saw it leave. There's a little line here that I can see when I swing the club. I can see the ball leave, and if it goes slightly off the center line, I know it has fade on it. When I hit a draw shot, if it starts on the center line and it finishes just to the left of this line that I have down the center, I know that that's a draw. So I do know that I came across that. I do know that I hit it pure, so I trust the 174-yard carry. I don't trust the distance on this, but the shot shape is identical. So again, we could have competing Doppler issues here, and there might also be an issue with distance from the hitting surface to the screen. I did measure this, and it was 8 feet to the screen. I imagine if we had 10 foot from this hitting space to the screen, I think our numbers might be slightly more accurate. Again, I'm making guesstimations here, but I just basically want to show you these two things operating side by side. So you can see that they're picking up a lot of the same information. In the Rapsodo, let's change the club to our 3-wood. In the SkyTrak, let's change our club to the 3-wood. And now this is going to tell if, as we increase our club speed and our ball speed, is that the factor that this starts to, kind of a discrepancy starts to form. So would be good to know. And another thing that I'm going to do with this Rapsodo is I'm going to take it out to the driving range, and I'm going to hit it in a driving range scenario. So where it's just pure Doppler, pure photometrics at contact, and it's going to measure the entire distance of that ball until it hits the ground. So I'm really looking forward to doing that maybe later this week to get out to the driving range, take the Rapsodo, set it up just like I have it set up here, and see what the numbers tell me, because that would be how I would likely use the Rapsodo. Have it in my bag, and then basically take it to the driving range, take it to the course before I play, and then warm up on the driving range to get my distances. Then from there, ready for the round of golf that we're about to play. Another thing I might do, very likely if the driving range is pretty empty, I might actually load up a simulator Rapsodo courseware on my iPhone, pair it to my Rapsodo, and play 9 holes from a driving range setup, just so I could show you guys. Might go one step further and do an Awesome Golf tutorial so I can show you Rapsodo and Awesome Golf, which are 2 simulator softwares available on the Rapsodo. Awesome Golf is not available on SkyTrak. Used to be, but I think they got into a bit of a tiff once SkyTrak started releasing their own. All right, first 3-wood with this both setups. Let's see where we end up. Hope I make good contact with this so we can get good numbers. Happy with that. Pretty straight line. Cut across it. I have 2 different readings here, so this will be interesting. My SkyTrak shows that I came across it. I did. It went to the left. My Rapsodo shows that I hit it with fade and it peeled off to the right. Now, in terms of distances, SkyTrak is showing 183 yards carry. That felt like 183 yards easily. The Rapsodo is showing 171 carry, which is, again, it's about almost 6-yard difference. So the distance is off, and also the shot shape is off with that one. So again, I don't know if they're competing with each other from the Doppler standpoint, but would be curious to see this out in the real world, because I could see the ball flight in the real world, so I can confirm, once we get it out in the real world. All right, let's go ahead and another 3-wood. Again, I trust the SkyTrak, at least in this initial 3-wood test. Hit one more, see if I can hit it more pure. Hit that one low, so that should be a burner. Shows to be a burner. Okay, we got the same type of shot shape on both. It just faded more on the Rapsodo than it did on the SkyTrak. Now, in terms of carry distance, okay, this is kind of ironic, but it makes sense. SkyTrak is showing that carried about 145 yards, rolled out to 173, because I did get a lot of force behind it. So here's the ironic part. The Rapsodo showed that it carried 160 yards, same shot shape, and it rolled out to a total of 172. So the total distance is about 1 yard apart. The path, the way they got there, it's slightly different numbers in terms of carry. So let's hit this last one. So we've hit a decent 3-wood. We've hit one that I've hit in the real world, which is a low burner with whip. Let me see if I can catch one pure one just to finish out this little test here. So here we go. 3-wood, last shot, hopefully. Try to hit that draw shot so I can catch it square. That's a great one. I pulled it across my body, so it should go out to the... Both shots right there are identical on both softwares. And distance-wise, yeah, this was the closest shot of all of them. So the SkyTrak Plus is showing 189 yards carry. The ball flight is starting over to the left-hand side of the dispersion line, coming right back to the center, just slightly past center to the right side. Perfect. The Rapsodo shows a carry distance of 185 yards, so just a 4-yard difference. The rollout, well, we won't worry about the rollout, but the shot shape is really what I'm looking at. So they are identical on the screen. And you're going to see this when I go back and edit this. I'm going to have my SkyTrak sitting at the top. I'm going to have the Rapsodo right underneath it. They're going to be lined up identically, and then you'll see me, this swing camera, off to the left. It kind of fills up the whole left-hand side of the screen. So you're going to see at impact, it's the same exact thing. So again, that's pretty awesome. I wanted to just give you guys an introductory to see the differences here between the two launch monitors, see their capability, and just to see how accurate they are or aren't with each other. Do want to put the little asterisk there that I don't know if there's interference between the two devices because they both use Doppler. So that's going to be something that you just kind of have to take with it's a variable that we don't know. Don't have anything in here to measure the Doppler signals to see where they intersect. I just know that it's radar based and they could be crossing paths. The good news though is that this Doppler is only going to catch my club path for this direction. Then it's going to calculate from the SkyTrak. The Rapsodo is going to catch the Doppler from that direction and watch the ball and radar measure it going into the screen, into the hitting net. So two different methods of achieving the same thing. I am very, very happy with this last 3-wood result. They look identical. So I'm just going to say, if you have to pick and choose between the two and budget is your only factor, I would pick the Rapsodo MLM2Pro just for its convenience, for its capabilities in terms of giving you the measurements you need as a golfer trying to get better, hit your numbers, map your bag out in terms of your club distances. And then in a minute, we're going to get in place some courseware. You're going to see that that's even possible. And I'm going to load them both up at the same time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this little Cyber Golf U video informative, and maybe it just helped you make a decision on, let me go ahead and check that buy box, and that's going to be the one that I want versus the other. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching.